back to Gyaru video series. This is a video series that is hopefully going to explain everything there is to know about Gyaru. So what is Gyaru? Gyaru is a fashion style that is based around rebelling against the Japanese beauty standards. There's a much longer explanation of the style in the history video, which includes photos, videos, and an explanation of the progression of the style throughout the years. So go ahead and check that video out if you haven't already. So this series consists of a few different sections, each of them centered around a different aspect of Gyaru style. So the first section is obviously around history, so go ahead and check that video out if you have not already. In that section, we dive deeper into the meaning of Gyaru and the way that Gyaru has evolved throughout the years. The next section is going to be substyles. In this section, we're going to be covering the different substyles of Gyaru. So in addition to just regular Gyaru-kei, which is usually consisting of hair and makeup along with any sort of clothing that you really want, there are different substyles that follow a little bit more specific guidelines. So in that section, we're going to be covering all sorts of different substyles within the Gyaru fashion. So the next section is going to be all about makeup. Gyaru makeup has a ton of different aspects to it, and it can get really in-depth. So in that section, we're going to be covering the different ways that everyone does their Gyaru makeup. This is probably going to be the most beneficial to new Gyaru who are trying to figure out what will work for their personal face shape. There's a lot of variety in this section, including the people who are in the previous series, and the variety is meant to help you understand what will work for you personally. So hopefully this will help you a lot if you are new to Gyaru, or even if you just want to learn a different technique than what you are already doing. In this section, we're going to be covering everything about Gyaru makeup, from eye makeup, circle lenses, contouring, and lip makeup. It's a lot to cover, but it's definitely important into helping you achieve your perfect Gyaru look. So the next section is going to be covering everything there is to know about Gyaru hair. So in that section, we're going to go a little bit more in depth than we have in the previous series, so you will hopefully have an even better understanding of Gyaru hairstyles. The next section is going to be all about Gyaru nails. So nails are something that Gyaru is really known for, and in that section we're going to cover how everyone likes to do their own personal nails and different ways to achieve different Gyaru nail looks. So the next section is going to be covering all about advice for beginners. It can be very overwhelming for a new Gyaru to be faced with so much critique, but in the long run a lot of it is meant to help you. And in that section we're going to be covering everything from critique to advice that we would have liked to have heard as beginner Gyaru. Being a new Gyaru can sometimes be a little bit scary, so hopefully that will be a little bit of a reassurance to you that it's not as bad as it may seem. And in the final section, we'll be talking to a few Gyaru inspirations. So these are Gyaru who have been around in the community for quite a long time, they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, and they have perfected their own personal style. So we'll be talking to them about their style, their inspirations, and what Gyaru means to them. So I really hope that you'll join us in this video series, and let's get on with the introductions. So for those of you who don't know me from the previous series, my name is Heather, I'm 20 years old, and I currently live in Colorado in the US.
Hi, my name is Anna, I'm 23 years old from Sweden. I have been into Gyaru since 2008 or 9, and I have dressed in Gyaru since 2010, and in the subcategory Hime-Gyaru since 2011. I found out about Gyaru on internet. It was a video on YouTube, and the video was about the style Mamba or Yamamba, and I think the style was so cool and it was so romantic, and I wanted to try that style out, but I never did. So yeah.
My name is Ava, I'm 24 and I'm from Florida, but I'm currently living in California. I'll say I've been doing Gal for about 4 to 5 years. The sub-style I do is called Kuro Gyaru. I found out about Kuro Gyaru through Tumblr, I want to say a long time ago. 5 years is a long time ago.
So my name is Ari. I just turned 22 in October, and my style is Kuro Gyaru. I used to do Hime, but I didn't really think that was for me. You know, as outgoing as it was, you know, I'm a little bit more, you know, out there, so I wanted to do something even more intense, so I hopped in Kuro in Illinois, but in about 2 months I'll be moving to Japan, so that'll be fun. I've been doing Gyaru for about 6 to 7 years. I found out about it when I wanted to be more girly because I was in that scene phase and I didn't like that at all, and I was like, I wanted to, you know, I love Japanese culture itself, so when I looked up, you know, I started looking up visual kei, and then I saw Gyaru in Google Images, and then I saw Tsubasa Matsuwaka, and I was like, oh shit, you know, she's really pretty, and you know, that's the Japanese style. I found out about Gyaru from there, and you know, started forming my own, like, you know, practicing a lot. So yeah.
Hi, I am Kitai. I'm 22 years old from Germany. I'm doing Gyaru for about 6 years now, and it all started in 2008 when I went on a convention and I met Ramona, fully dressed in Gyaru. I immediately fell in love with her style, and after she told me everything about it, I went home and started researching about it. I found out about Boggy Peak and I saw how much fun they are having, and I just wanted to be a part of it. So yeah, I started making my first Gyaru baby steps in 2008, yeah, or 2009. I started doing Gyaru more girly and more cute before I went over to Agyu with a more mature, more sexier style, and then eventually I found my love for Daya, and so you could say I'm wearing Kurogyaru just without the tan, so maybe just call it Tsuyuma or something like that, yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Sinaya, I'm 23 years old and I'm from Germany. I love Kurogyaru, Kanguro, Bamba and Ora Oraki.
So now that you've met everyone, I really hope that you'll stick around with us in the series and get to learn a little bit more about Gyaru. Thank you so much for watching and please enjoy! See you guys later. Bye!